Earlier this evening, most of the student body at Davidson College loaded buses to make the 20-mile drive into downtown Charlotte, North Carolina for tonight's game between the Wildcats and the #1 team in the country, the North Carolina Tar Heels, who are ready to get their season underway. Welcome everyone to Charlotte Bobcats Arena, the home of the NBA Charlotte Bobcats, and tonight the home of college basketball action, a terrific early season matchup between the North Carolina Tar Heels, winners of 31 games last year, and the Davidson Wildcats. They won a school record 29. Hello everybody and welcome. Sean McDonough along with Jay Billis and Bill Raftery. Moderately happy to be back with these two guys as we get another season of college basketball, but very excited about this matchup tonight. North Carolina, Jay, was one of the best teams in the country last year, went to the Elite Eight, lost to Georgetown in heartbreaking fashion, and they have a lot of talent back.
You know, they really have everything. They've got a great transition game. They've got a star inside in Tyler Hansbrough, and they've got high-level experience. The question is, are they going to be able to shoot the ball well enough from the perimeter to take the pressure off Hansbrough in the paint?
Tyler Hansbrough reminds me a lot of Jay. He's rebounding, he's aggressive play, but that's where it stops. This kid's got a great offensive array of talent. Inside, outside, he's facing up shooting the jump shot, but I think the outside game is the important part this year as they progress towards their goal, the NCAA title. And they knock shots down.
And he's offensive.
Very much so, on a daily basis.
Well, Hansbrough is part of our Star Watch, and he has been getting a lot of attention both off and on the court.
Well, Hansbrough is just, quite frankly, the player with the most will in the nation. Last year, he broke his nose in the last game of the season in that collision with Gerald Henderson of Duke. In this game against Michigan State, took it off, had 33 points after, who was that masked man?
Well, Stephen Curry, a guy, doesn't wear a mask, and they better identify where he is. He can fill it from deep and put it on the deck as well, Sean.
Hansbrough, the preseason ACC Player of the Year, and Stephen Curry, the preseason Southern Conference Player of the Year. Hansbrough joined in the North Carolina starting lineup by Ty Lawson, the returning point guard, Wayne Ellington, Marcus Ginyard, the outstanding defender, and Deion Thompson, who steps into the spot previously occupied by Brandon Wright, now in the NBA after 1 year at Carolina. For Davidson, Jason Richards, one of the best point guards in the nation. He was second in the country in assists last year with Curry. Max Paulus Gosselin, Thomas Sander, and Boris Meno, the rest of the starting five for the Wildcats. Near capacity crowd. There were only a couple of 100 tickets left this morning. They expected to sell every seat prior to game time. Mike Wood, Zelton Steed, Gary Maxwell, the officials. And Carolina in the blue won the tip. They went right to Ginyard with the first bucket of the year for the Tar Heels.
And they look, Sean McDonough and Jay Billis. The Tar Heels are going. Minute.
What great anticipation by Ginyard, who is now taking Stephen Curry, a great defender, and he'll have a tremendous challenge because Curry can really score.
Both teams like to play quickly, and we expect an up-and-down affair. Thomas Sander, the senior from Cincinnati, with the Davidson bucket.
You will see maybe the most fundamentally sound team in Davidson. They are solid.
Ginyard missed a contested floater, came down to the hands of Boris Meno. Now Richards, only Jared Jordan of Marist had more assists in the country last year. The three wouldn't go from the corner for Paulus Gosselin.
Well, what a fight this is going to be between Thomas Sander and Tyler Hansbrough. Sander, perhaps the toughest player physically in the Southern Conference.
Lawson's miss. Rebounded by Meno. Now Richards, a senior from Barrington, Illinois.
Nice.
And Meno's shot was deflected, and it came down to Tyler Hansbrough.
So the key, I think, is Lawson and his penetration. They keep him outside and then find people on the wing.
Out of bounds to North Carolina. Last touch by Curry. Roy Williams in his 5th season as head coach at his alma mater. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in September. He said that still hasn't sunk in. More than 20 former players on hand in Springfield, Massachusetts, to watch the coach's very emotional and moving induction speech.
Very impressive credentials, obviously, and loves his kids, no question about it.
Won more games in 19 years as a head coach than any coach in the history of college basketball. Stephen Curry called for the foul. Roy, now 57 years old, beginning his 35th year in coaching. 5 years as a high school coach, 10 as an assistant at Carolina, and now in his 20th year as a head coach after 15 at Kansas, his 5th at North Carolina.
There's the lob. Back screen, and there's the power. Woo!
A lot of little on big screens being set by North Carolina, trying to get Davidson to switch, get mismatches. Nobody communicated for the Wildcats.
First bucket of the year for Hansbrough, puts Carolina back on top. Meno didn't get the bounce. Deon Thompson kept it alive for Hansbrough. Bob McKillop, the Davidson coach, said his team will run with Carolina. Even though Carolina likes to play at lightning speed, his team likes to run too. He said, we're not going to walk it up tonight. We're playing for tonight, but we're also playing for the rest of the year as well. McKillop, the winningest coach in Davidson history. And they've had some terrific coaches there like Lefty Driesell and Terry Holland. And his best years have been the recent ones, 20 wins or more in each of the last 3.
And they gave Maryland all they could handle last year at the NCAA. Impressive credentials as well. Great high school coach, has paid his dues, done a wonderful job at Davidson.
He's got a great system. Wants his team to get a patient flow offensively. Doesn't want them to turn down opportunities. They run a lot of sets, a lot of motion. And this is a very well-drilled team.
And Curry's got to keep busy.
Oh, what a move.
By Miller, and then he was fouled by Ellington.
See, that's what you call clever with the ball. There's no question that Lawson is quicker, he's a better athlete, but Richards is clever. He knows how to play a great fake to open that up, and he's so strong to finish with the contact. You don't see a lot of point guards finishing that strong.
And what sets it up is their ability to shoot, so they jump at you with not the quickest dribble penetration or blow by, but just the defense has to be honest deep.
Well, they take advantage of any overreaction you make defensively.
Guys with gray hair usually know what they're doing.
Like Roy Williams, Coach McKillop, 57 years old. Davidson with a 1-point lead. Lawson has 2 fouls now. Roy Williams has left him in the game. You saw Will Archambault, who's come in for Davidson, an excellent outside shooter, number 22.
And Archambault will shoot it from deep, and he will keep shooting it. No conscience.
Lawson into the lane, called for a travel.
Now they're doing a nice job riding him in, pinching him, and then the big guys are stepping up. That's key when you play Carolina.
Well, North Carolina trying to force it right now. Everything off one dribble, one pass.
Now, Roy was saying they're not where he wants them to be yet after the 2 games.
2 exhibition games. They haven't played a regular season game yet. Davidson is 1-0. They beat Division III Emory 120-56.
Roy Williams right now not satisfied with the explanation he got on Lawson's second foul. And Gary Maxwell saying that Lawson got the foul for pushing in the back.
They had posted 2 fouls on the scoreboard and announced 2 fouls. Now we're told that they have changed at the table. Lawson has only 1, but he is out of the game. And Quentin Thomas is in for North Carolina, number 11, their only scholarship senior. And he's quickly called for a foul as he was riding the hip of Jason Richards on a cut.
Notice how they attack defensively, Carolina. They get right up. They know they're an outside shooting team. They're going to force them to put it on the deck. They feel they can move the puppies and get in position.
Have to watch Curry off the inbounds. He's going to read screens.
They really run some nice stuff for him, too.
Andrew Lovedale has also come off the bench. Buries an elbow jumper. He's a junior from Nigeria, one of 6 foreign players on this Davidson roster.
And that shot is a bonus because Lovedale's role is to rebound, run, and defend. But if he can come in and make an open shot to force Deon Thompson to really guard him, take his attention off of helping, that's going to be big.
Now, 1 for 12 from 3 last year. He's not a deep threat. Smart, getting to the elbow.
Lovedale just called for the foul, his first and the second on Davidson. The Wildcats lead by 3. 3.5 minutes gone by.
Nice switch. Very good communication.
North Carolina hasn't been able to run any offense. It's unrecognizable right now.
And Lovedale gets called. They got an offensive foul. I thought he was in good position.
Away from the ball, Alex Stephenson called for the foul. Sophomore from Los Angeles in off the bench, called for his first.
This is just the start that Davidson wanted to get off to.
They stay in contact.
Sanders setting up on a low block against Stephenson. And the jump hook a little too strong. Here comes Thomas from Oakland, California, out of Oakland Tech. He's the only scholarship senior they don't have. Scholarship true freshman, so much talent coming back. Archambault open, missed his first three-point try, and the rebound down to Ellington. Wearing a new number this year. He was number 2 last year, but switched to 22 after Wes Miller graduated and left that number behind. That's the first bucket of the night for Ellington.
A smart play by Ellington. Probing coming down, didn't go too fast, just let everything open up in their secondary break.
Their perimeter people really can handle, Jay.
Archambault, the Canadian from Quebec, missed that runner. A little too strong.
Nice hesitation, huh?
Yeah, Ellington is a streaky shooter, missed the pull-up. Richards the push. And Hansbrough the rebound.
I thought he should have given it up earlier. Curry may have had an open look. They got to get him on the board.
Davidson just 3 out of 10, but leading 7-6.
Nice help.
Curry, who's an underappreciated defender according to Coach McKillop, missed the shot.
He gets that shot off quickly. Most people might think that's a bad shot, but for Stephen Curry, it is not.
It's in the genes, the quick release.
Hansbrough has 6 rebounds already. Missed from the top of the key. Stevenson with Sander on the floor. And Stevenson fouled. Well, look at the beautiful campus of Davidson College on 450 acres, about 20 miles north of downtown Charlotte. Only 1,700 students. Famous alums, the former White House press secretary Tony Snow and the noted crime and fiction writer Patricia Cornwell. 1,700 students. They tell us about 1,100 of those students bought tickets for the game tonight. And you can see how many of them are here behind the basket to our left. And they have about 200 to 300 other students who are overseas right now. So almost all of the students who are on the campus bought tickets to come to the game here tonight.
Well, very passionate student body. And I actually dropped off a friend's kid at school for freshman orientation. Do you know that they, at Davidson, as a freshman, you get your laundry done for you?
It's part of your student fee.
It's a pretty good deal.
Yes, you drop off your laundry, they wash it, fold it, give it back to you.
It's a nice check for you, girl, your laundry, though, that you pay.
Yeah, it works out to about $1,000 a load, I think.
Alex Stevenson missed the first free throw. And the second. And the rebound down to Boris Meno. Davidson's campus, they know the trouble most of us had. We were in college. Is this too wrinkly and smelly to wear tonight?
That's still Bill's problem.
That's your first semester. Same outfit.
Curry's shot never got up to the rim. The Davidson folks thought he was fouled. Now we're told that the scores table, after review, they have determined that Lawson does have 2 fouls. On the official stat screen, they changed it to 1 and they put it back to 2.
Nice job by Thomas who come in to replace him. Anytime you get the guard in that lane and they create, it can be damaging.
Jason Richards all the way to the bucket. Got it to go. It looked like it might have been tipped by Danny Green, who's come in for Carolina, but it still went through. 5 points for the point guard.
And a great screen inside.
Meno, an effective double to block the pass from Thompson. Bobby Fraser just off the bench, lost the handle.
So far in this ball game, Thompson has not done a very good job of handling the double team, but using the high screen, Jason Richards, very good start and stop ability. He changes pace, changes direction, plays with great tempo. A young man who at the point guard position really understands the game and has a very low error rate. That's what you want from your leader on the floor.
And Mano really did a great job sealing his guy, Jay, to let the little guy get to the 10.
Richards at 249 assists last year, 7.3 per game, was first team All-Southern Conference. The league Davidson won with a record of 17-1, the conference record for wins in a season. They had a 16-0 conference year a couple of years ago. Then the league added some league games. Danny Green a miss. Hansbrough another rebound, his 7th. And he earned a trip to the free throw line where he lived last year. He shot 315 free throws last year in 38 games. Sander called for the foul, his first and the team's 4th. And Tyler shot 77% from the line last year.
He inflicts punishment. He actually attacked the defender on that rebound. What an aggressive kid.
And he gave a shot to Sander in there. I mean, it takes a lot of guts for Sander to stay in there, because when Hansbrough goes to the basket, he may take you with him.
You wonder if the thumb injury is bothering Hansbrough. He had a jam right thumb in their last exhibition game 5 days ago against Lenore Rhine. Did not play the last 13.5 minutes of that game. Boy, Curry way off.
And they got a nice play that screened down the Old Americas play to get him to look.
Curry's not made a field goal yet. Richards the miss. But Davidson leads 9-6. They haven't shot well, but Carolina's turned it over 6 times. Davidson has not committed a turnover.
Nice back screen by Thomas. You know, it's crazy, Sean. They worked through that play all day yesterday and still couldn't control it. Not a good look here.
The first Davidson turnover as Richards threw it away.
Carolina runs their secondary break after a make, after a miss. They are going to run it and run it and run it. They're relentlessly consistent. And Roy Williams, he doesn't mind a quick shot now and again, because he wants to ratchet up the possessions in a game. If they get this game going at a high speed and a high tempo, they feel like they're going to score more points and wear you out and foul you out.
Quinn Thomas seeing a lot of minutes with Lawson on the bench with 2 fouls. Fraser a miss, and the rebound down to Meno. Steven Rossiter is in the game for Davidson, number 23, and Bryant Barr, an excellent outside shooter. Coach McKillop calls him a marksman, is in, number 24. There he is.
Plenty of room to work.
Meno not afraid of Hansbrough.
They do just such a nice job. It's all ISO because of the ability to drill deep.
Carolina not helping down. They don't want to allow any openings for 3-point shooters.
Sean McDonough, Jay Billis, Bill Raftery back in Charlotte, the number 1 team in the nation, North Carolina, beginning its season with Davidson. Most of the preseason publications had Carolina number 1 for the 6th time in school history preseason. So much talent coming back. Roy Williams didn't feel the need to bring in a freshman this year. It should make the minutes easier to find for the others who return. Of course, Coach Williams, now a Hall of Famer, inducted in September into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Dean Smith and Larry Brown presented him, as you both know, and deep tradition here. There's old Dino, one of the truly great minds, innovators, wouldn't you say, in the game?
No question.
Besides being a great coach.
No question. 23 of his former players came to Springfield to watch him get inducted. It was just a great night.
North Carolina last year with that 5-some of freshmen, 43% of their scoring, all of them back, so no need to bring in a freshman this year. First time in Roy's career he hasn't had an incoming scholarship freshman, and the Carolina folks went back as far as they could with their rosters. Never found a year where they didn't have at least 1 scholarship freshman. Ellington gets the bucket. One of those freshmen of a year ago, now a sophomore from Wynwood, Pennsylvania. And Richards bumped by Ginyard, their best defender.
A little nickel dimer deep on the floor. Curry's going to have to work hard. They're doing a great job. They're alternating bodies on him. Ginyard is back on him. Frazier had him a little bit.
Yeah, they just picked up there in transition a little bit after the made field goal, but it's going to be very difficult to get open against a defender as good as Marcus Ginyard. But it's not like Stephen Curry hasn't faced great defenders. Last year he put 30 on DJ Strawberry in the NCAA tournament. He knows how to get open, and he doesn't force too many shots.
Curry's 0 for 3 from the floor so far. Here he is, guarded by Ginyard. Archambault has missed a couple. That's important for him because Coach McKillop says he has a lot of talent, but he tends to get down on himself if it doesn't go well early.
Not only has talent, he's got a great deal of athletic ability. What a bad pass. No angle.
Intercepted by Rossiter, then turned it back over as he was stuck on the floor. Now Archambault. Curry, can he get one to go? No.
First clean look he's had. He's got to keep screening as well.
He scored 21.5 per game last year, and there's an offensive foul. And that's on Lawson. So there was the controversy about how many he had. They determined he did have 2. And now he has 3.
Not a very smart play by Tywan Lawson, coming down in transition, just leaning in with that right shoulder. And that was an obvious call for the official to make, and Jason Richards, the senior, did a really nice job of selling it.
Lawson likely on the bench for the rest of the half at least. More than half of the half to play. Curry. It was contested by Thompson on a held ball between the 2 All-American candidates. Hansbrough is an All-American. Curry may well be sometime in the next couple of years.
Most teams he would have had a layup, but the great help side defense responded.
Only Kevin Durant scored more among freshmen in the country last year than Curry's 21.5 per game. And Curry made 122 threes, an NCAA freshman record. He has one here tonight. Made 5 in their opening win over Emory. They've scored that a deep 2, so it's 15-10.
Well, how fast was that release? And North Carolina just getting the ball down court quickly and into Hansbrough, who seals off.
About 4 seconds on the clock. And here's a little small change as well by Thomas on the penetration.
But look how quickly he gets it off.
Well, I just love how he uses screens too, Jay, to get that catch.
Ginyard was all over him and did a great job of staying down after he caught the ball initially. But that is one quick trigger. We talk about getting the ball up court quickly. How quickly did Richards get the ball up court after Hansbrough's made field goal?
They both have the same idea, concepts. Push it up, you get a good quick look, fine. If not, we'll run our stuff. And this kid's a great organizer.
Richards an excellent free throw shooter, 81% last year, 4th in the Southern Conference.
Look at this.
A turnover to Richards, and it barely stays alive for Curry. He almost turned it back over.
Great look.
And a nice look underneath as well to Sander. Good pass from Paulus Gosselin. 4 points for Sander, who was second team all-conference last year.
And North Carolina has been sloppy. That was a sloppy play by Tyler Hansbrough. You don't often see that from him.
They come to double him on the block. And he got shoved. Davidson fans thought he walked. But fouls on Sander.
The double coming post to post from the high side, and Hansbrough just turns baseline and attacks Sander. But that double has been effective, more effective when it goes at Deon Thompson, but Hansbrough did a good job of handling it.
Sander to the bench with 2 fouls, 6 team fouls against Davidson, so the next one puts the Wildcats over the limit. They're up by 7, 9:18 to go, first half here in downtown Charlotte.
And Rossiter doing a great job in the post-up area. Now he goes outside and just a little overzealous. I'd back off him a little bit out there.
I would too.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, you can't take the bait out there because he's trying to get you into a physical confrontation 17 feet from the basket. Now, Hansbrough can make that shot. He can also make that drive, but I'd rather have him do that than lock you down the post. Absolutely.
Sean, how about Dave the Busher type of player? Maybe not the outside shooting of the Busher, but the physically imposing play.
I don't remember him. That's way before my time.
Nice
what are you going to go, George? You going to go George Yardley on us next?
2 free throws by Hansbrough. The foul on Rossiter was his first. And now Carolina brings some pressure and causes the turnover. Richards forced into a walk with the pressure from Danny Green in the backcourt.
I don't think he lifted the pivot foot. It looked more like the front foot took the step.
Here it comes to Ellington. Smooth pull-up along the baseline, and it's a 3-point game. 6 points for Wayne Ellington.
Boy, he uses that dribble effectively and has great body control.
They have to have him shoot well. He is their best shooter and a guy that's got to get on track from the perimeter. He has not shot the ball well in this young season.
Richards got rid of it to Paulus Gosselin. He's from Quebec. He's a high school teammate of Archambault. Good ball movement, then an air ball fired up by Richards.
No vision on the ball by Carolina.
Davidson is more physical than they get credit for. They bump you.
Fraser, bothered by a stress fracture in his foot last year that caused him to miss 10 games. Hansbrough, the tough shot. 8 points and 8 rebounds.
Great ball reversal, and they fell asleep on the shape-up.
And absorbed a bump there as well. Yep. Rossiter kept his hands up, but was trying to nudge him underneath.
Carolina down 7 a moment ago within 1, and their crowd is into it. Looks like almost half the house wearing Carolina blue. They played here in Charlotte to open last year, a couple of games against Sacred Heart and Winthrop in the preseason NIT. Both of them victories. Shot clock at 5, and it's banked home by Stephen Curry.
Boy, they hung tough. Little kiss by Dell's kid.
Tyler Hansbrough showing a fist. He wants out, but Roy Williams turned away. He didn't see it.
Oh, they got the small change under the basket by Lovedale.
And Hansbrough will get a breather during the media timeout. Tyler Hansbrough about to go to the line after the second foul on Andrew Lovedale. And another former great Carolina big man in the house, Sean May, part of their national championship team in 2005, now with the Charlotte Bobcats, out after microfracture surgery. That's become the trend, unfortunately, in the NBA.
Yeah, it's been difficult. He's had some really bad luck in the NBA with injuries.
You know, Roy was telling me today that the press conference before the final game, they asked him what he was going to do if they won. He said that I'm going to hug my coach when we win the NCAA championship. So they have a pretty good relationship, and he's finishing school as well.
Sean was at their shoot-around noon today to visit with his former coach. 10 points now for Hansbrough. He has a chance for a double-double here in the first half. He averaged 18.5 and 8 rebounds per game last year. But he's very happy with his decision to come back for another year in college basketball, largely because he wants another shot at the NCAA title. Carolina was crushed with the way its season ended a year ago. They had a 10-point lead with 6 minutes to go in the Elite Eight game against Georgetown. Missed 22 of its last 23 shots. Lost in overtime and used that loss as a major motivator throughout the offseason. Richards for 3. Green the rebound. And now Ellington in transition off a nice feed ahead from Bobby Fraser.
Absolutely great look, on time, on the money, and then the crossover step.
And that's Carolina basketball. Everybody running on the primary break. We talk about the secondary break, but the primary break is what Roy Williams wants to see.
Curry resting, a little small change.
Bad foul.
Yeah, it sure was. First one, I believe, for Richards.
Carolina getting that ball out quickly, and Bobby Fraser looking up court, and nice move with the ball by Ellington to protect it and still finish.
Richards fouled his first, the team's 9th, so this will be the last 1-1 of the half. Stephen Curry, who's had a poor shooting half, will return. Along with Stephen Rossiter, Bryant Barr goes out.
It was a very important period in the ball game for Davidson. Carolina's turned the ball over 9 times up to this point, but now you can feel the Tar Heels getting some rhythm.
I think fatigue too, Jay, part of it.
No question.
Carolina was down 7, they're up 2 as the first one went in for Hansbrough. He is relentless, as tenacious as anybody in college basketball. Phenomenal dedication to physical fitness. When we talked with Roy Williams today, he said that's really what makes Hansbrough special, the discipline, the work ethic, and the great competitive spirit.
Just tough, smart, aggressive, ferocious competitor.
Paulus Gosselin's shot was a line drive that barely got up to the rim, and now Hansbrough has his double-double here in the first half with his 10th rebound.
Bobby Fraser doing a nice job of running the team from the point guard position. Had that mysterious foot injury last year that took him out of play.
Wouldn't you say that's another reason why Hansbrough come back? The NBA folks would like to see him improve that face-up offensive game a little bit away from the basket.
Got to have it.
Bob McKillop's Wildcats 29 wins a year ago. It was a terrific year, but like North Carolina, Davidson has used its season-ending loss as motivation. They led Maryland in the second half of their first-round NCAA game by 8 points. With 17 minutes to go, led by a point with under 10 minutes to go, saw it slip away. The players went to Coach McKillop and said, we need more of those kind of games on our schedule next year. And the coach has loaded up the schedule, including this matchup with North Carolina.
He's on Broadway. Is that what he told you?
Yes. He's a native New Yorker. He likes to make a lot of Broadway references. He said, we're not off Broadway anymore. We're in the spotlight. 6 points for Curry. And a quick response by Ellington.
Boy, it's tough. They've got to get out and deny in the wing. Otherwise, they're going to jam it up the sideline.
Carolina just keeps coming at you. And it's like a body blow in a fight. Sooner or later, it's going to wear you down.
Like that.
Gardner-Webb is fun to watch. They know how to play. Their coach, Rick Scruggs. A couple years ago, Dick Vitale was talking about somebody's schedule. He says, they're only playing cupcakes. And he mentioned Gardner-Webb. And Rick Scruggs sent him 100 frosted cupcakes.
Which he had then sold, I heard. He got a deal on him. Deion Thompson trying to load up. And called for the little giveaway.
His first. A rare moment of slow pace in this game. Richards with Rossiter. Archambault, Meno, and Curry, and it was Rossiter slipping to the basket for his first points.
That was called after the timeout by Bob McKillop because he knows they're hugging all the three-point shooters. Just a great call by McKillop.
And the deployment, so nobody in the center spot to negate.
Thompson couldn't handle the pass into the low block, and we were at the workout earlier today. Roy Williams hollering at Thompson that he needs to look those passes into his hands. Had trouble catching the ball this morning.
Catch with your eyes, an old Alan Balbo's statement.
Yeah, you're always in trouble when you got to talk to a guy about how to catch it.
Curry a three.
You don't have to tell him how to shoot it.
Like the great scorer that he is, he can heat up quickly. All of a sudden, he has 9 points. The lead 2 for Davidson. Green for the lead for North Carolina. Strong rebound, and then too strong. The putback from Marcus Ginyard.
Nice give.
Archambault for three. Rossiter got a hand on the rebound. Green 2-on-1 with Thomas. Richards defended.
And a nice look away by Thomas.
And that's the danger with the quick three, especially from the corner. If everybody's below the free throw line, that can be a fast break situation. North Carolina taking advantage.
Lots of minutes for Thomas, who wasn't cleared to play until November 1st. He had knee surgery, arthroscopic knee surgery on his right knee in August. And with Lawson's foul trouble, he's seen major minutes here in the first half, and an offensive foul called. Meno trying to shed Hansbrough. Here it's a tie game, 3:20 to go till the half. Bobby Fraser on the floor now with Wayne Ellington, Danny Green, Alex Davidson, and Tyler Hansbrough for North Carolina. Ellington's 5 out of 6 from the floor for 10 points with the ball now.
A little 1-3-1 look here.
Fraser for three.
That's the open spot if he can knock him down.
Boy, and they need that, not just a knockdown shot, but they need Bobby Fraser to come in and make open shots. They've got Ellington to hit shots, and they also need Fraser, who was unavailable last year because of that foot injury.
Ellington on Curry now.
Here's Richards open, and he answers with a three ball. The senior, his dad Tom was a fine player, a point guard at Pittsburgh in the early 70s, played on the 1974 team that lost to North Carolina State, the eventual national champs in the NCAA tournament.
Nice shot by Curry screening, Jay. Excuse me.
They need to attack that baseline and screen Jason Richards on the baseline.
Danny Green off a feed from Fraser. First bucket for Green.
It's amazing how much better shooter you are when you can step into a shot like that. Defense tardy.
And when you move the ball from side to side, make that defense move, you've got some openings.
Curry a miss. And the rebound down to Frazier, the son of a coach. His dad, a long-time high school coach in Illinois, in the Illinois Hall of Fame.
That's a man-to-man on the miss.
Drag the double.
Hansbrough managed to pass it out of the double. Frazier confident. That's an elbow jumper. 5 points for Bobby and a 5-point Tar Heel lead.
And a nice ball screen, too, to free him up.
How valuable has Bobby Frazier been in this game with Lawson out with fouls?
Oh, not a good foul.
That wasn't a foul. They got a jump ball.
Oh, they got, well, somebody's got, one's got a jump.
Nope, it's both a jump ball.
Change of possession.
Great play by Jason Richards.
It turned out great.
Ooh, smart.
Carolina will keep it as they went to the arrow.
Hate that arrow. If you tie the ball up, the defense should get it every time. If they're not going to jump it, reward the defense for the play.
Duke liked it when you were having a center jump with Sampson.
Ellington, you mentioned, Jay, the need for him to be a more consistent scorer. He's a streaky shooter. And on a hot streak tonight, 7-point lead, and Bob McKillop wants a timeout, an important possession for his team as we approach halftime. And with Carolina starting to widen the lead.
If North Carolina can hit perimeter shots, they are going to be awfully difficult to beat. And Tyler Hansbrough lives in the land of the double-double. He's got a double-double already, and we're not at halftime yet. This young man is just relentless. He thinks that every ball belongs to him. And he doesn't just think it. He goes, Billy, and he gets it.
I remember Jerry Lucas. I know you two guys are much younger, but he went up to, he rebounded, both hands on the ball, secures it. No one's going to get it. Such a tough competitor, this kid. He is relentless.
Carolina has shot 60% in the half. Only 38 points, in part because they've turned it over 11 times. Boris Meno looking to reverse it, but Frazier was in the passing lane. Now Jason Richards with 10 on the shot clock. Meno couldn't shed Stevenson on the fake, then had to shoot a tough fall away. And Roy Williams wants a timeout. Set up what he hopes to be the last shot of the half with 19 seconds to go.
Boy, what a nice job by Alex Stevenson defensively. Really doing a good job helping and then recovering to his man, Meno, when he got the ball.
And you got a guy fading away. You're doing some job.
He did a great job. Moved his feet. He has got a rock-solid body. Not a great offensive player, but a rebounder defender.
They're going to play UCLA in the Wooden Classic in Anaheim, California, December 8th. They're at NC State on the 21st. That's an NC State team picked to finish third in the ACC this year, behind North Carolina and Duke. His players said, get us more tough games with an eye toward the NCAA tournament, and the coach complied.
You mentioned State, Brandon Costa, pretty tough kid, Jay. Nice package.
Courtney Fells, J.J. Hickson, Gavin Grant. That's a good basketball team.
Big rebound, I think, for Davidson if there is a miss.
Well, they need to get going toward the basket. Frazier, a deep three. They took a little too long to get into that play. And North Carolina, once down by 7, leads by 7. Hansbrough and Ellington carrying the load with 24 of the 38 North Carolina points. Our score at the half is North Carolina 38 and Davidson 31. And welcome back to Charlotte, North Carolina. We are at halftime and almost ready for the start of the second half. And the #1 team in the country, North Carolina, with a 7-point lead over Davidson. Sean McDonough with Jay Billis and Bill Raftery. North Carolina was down by 7 at one point in that first half and methodically worked their way back to the lead.
I think methodical is the right word for it. They as you said, got down. They were turning the ball over. 11 turnovers the first half of the first half. Then Bobby Fraser came in the ball game, really settled them down, and they really did a great job on the board. Shot 58% in that first half overall. Tyler Hansbrough, double-double, just solid.
Well, the depth and the defense is incredible. I mean, they just suffocate you, and then offensively, they got different people who can step up. You love the job Bobby Fraser did. He was incredible getting the ball to the right people. And Ellington, I love the way he used the dribble to get himself free, Jay.
Great mid-range game, but how about the way they settled down in the last 10 minutes of that first half? Doubled up Davidson on the glass, 22-11, and Tyler Hansbrough rebounding even by himself with the Davidson Wildcats. What a warrior he is.
And we spoke with Bob McKillop this morning, said one of the big questions would be, would his team be able to rebound? And they were doubled up in rebounds, out-rebounded 22-11 by the Tar Heels. Davidson's been in the midst of midterm exams, so Coach McKillop wasn't able to get as in-depth in his preparation for all the things that North Carolina does with his team. And the practices haven't been as long or as involved as he would like. Stephen Curry bounced it off, and then Boris Meno missed a bunny.
Boy, that was big. Get him out of the gate, little Mo.
Too early to give it up to Hansbrough. Almost a turnover. You got to be smarter than that.
Ty Lawson, plagued by foul trouble in the first half. He has 3, played only 4 minutes in that opening half. Ellington, the star. It rattles out to Thomas Sander. He played only 7 minutes due to his foul difficulty. Jason Richards with Curry, Sander, Meno, and Max Paulus Gosselin. Meno working on Dion Thompson. Nice up and under.
Pretty move. He stayed with it to stain the double on the top side.
He's such a good athlete and versatile. He can face the basket. Bob McKillop had a great compliment for Meno, said he leads by his teamwork.
And Sander with a nice block, Sean.
Blocked the shot of Thompson. So Davidson trying to open the half with a run. Curry, that was big, missed a 3. Meno kept it alive for Sander. Blocked by Hansbrough. Now Marcus Ginyard. Ellington was shut off by Curry.
Well, you like the way that Richards went right after Lawson in transition. They didn't get anything out of it, but got a great shot.
Nice step in by Curry.
Poor handling of the double team.
And Richards turned it back over to Lawson. Marcus Ginyard.
I don't know about that one, huh? Nobody on the glass.
Yeah, and under duress. Boy, North Carolina's big guys, Hansbrough, Thompson, they've got to do a better job of handling these double teams.
Curry, the very quick turn and release. He has 11.
Not many players in America have better footwork or can stop on a dime and get a shot off any better than Steph Curry.
Nice play. Good use of the bounce.
Great block by Meno. He met the powerful Thompson at the rim.
The emphasis on no in Meno.
And Richards called for the offensive foul. His second.
A little bit out of control. May have had a bad call go against him, but too deep. And they played the wing receiver, Jay. That's what hurt him. He was looking to give it up to Curry, but unavailable because of great denial.
Bob McKillop going quickly to the bench. Richards will stay in with the 2 fouls, but Stephen Rossiter, Will Archambault, and Andrew Lovedale have all come off the bench very early in the second half. Davidson was down by 7 at the break. They've narrowed it to 3.
See if North Carolina goes inside, tries to get the ball to Hansbrough.
They've done a nice job assisting with doubles.
Rossiter was fronting Hansbrough. Hansbrough, the junior from Poplar Bluff, Missouri, too strong with a shot. Curry looks to push. And a foul now. Hansbrough pushing and shoving with Andrew Lovedale.
And he should get a foul also after the whistle. He just banged. I think he's a little frustrated on the offensive end, not able to come up with things.
Well, there's a lot of pushing and shoving going on out there, but that means that everybody has to keep their cool.
Watch this at the end of the play. See, after the whistle, that's right in front of the official. Let's see what they do.
Well, Lovedale trying to walk through him essentially. And Hansbrough's just got to move out of the way and let him go. It's not in his nature. You can't allow yourself to get baited into a confrontation, and that's what happened to Tyler Hansbrough on that last play.
He got called for a personal foul and a technical foul.
Well, it should only be the one. It should be the technical foul, which counts as a personal because it was a dead ball.
But I believe he was also called for the foul before the pushing and shoving after the
That's
whistle.
right.
Exactly.
Curry, an excellent free throw shooter. 85% and change last year. Those are 2 fouls on Hansbrough, his first 2.
There's the one, Sean, and now this one.
See, the problem was Lovedale tried to walk through him instead of walking around him, and Hansbrough just needs to let him go. It's kind of like fighting for a ball after the whistle. You know, nobody wants to give up on it, but the truth is, who cares? It doesn't count.
And look at this easy rebound. And Curry a little short, and Love, finishing it off.
8 straight points to open the half, and Davidson has reclaimed the lead. The largest lead was 7 in the first half. Thompson off the setup from Stevenson. Roy Williams took Tyler Hansbrough out of the ball game after the foul and the technical. It counts as a personal.
Better job by the Carolina big guys of handling 2 against 1.
The double on the box and the dive from the top. Nice hands.
Danny Green, a junior from North Babylon, New York.
And this is the first time they get that little dive to the rim. They've been trying to go cross court. An excellent read and easy, catchable pass.
Well, what that dive did was, after the double, it isolates Steph Curry on Deion Thompson. That is a matchup that Carolina will take any day of the week inside.
Oh, nice play because you're a threat.
Oh! Goaltending the call. Rossiter set up Lovedale. Stevenson called for the goaltend. Davidson goes back up.
Just a little pump fake by Rossiter set it up. Everybody bit, and then the great penetration.
Lovedale 3 out of 3 from the floor. He's from Nigeria, went to high school in England, accepted a scholarship to play at Davidson without ever actually visiting that beautiful campus. Lawson bumped. 72nd renewal of a great rivalry, North Carolina and Davidson. One of the most memorable matchups in the East Regional Final in 1969. Charlie Scott in the bottom of your picture, the star for Carolina.
Here's Delaney back to Scott. Charlie's at the circle, up for the shot, and it's good! And the ball game is over. North Carolina has won 87-85. Charlie Scott pumped it in there for the victory at the last second.
How about this, Jay?
That's Bill Guthridge.
What hops?
Out jumping the players. Dean Smith, no hops at all. Could barely get off the floor.
He didn't have to. He won so much. Offensive foul underneath.
And Deion Thompson. Yeah, Bill Guthridge with excellent elevation.
Look at this guy. He's All-American.
John Lutz didn't move. Dino didn't move.
Of course, those were in the days when Davidson played its best basketball. They were a national power in the late 60s under Lefty Driesell. Matter of fact, lost to Carolina in the East Regional Final in back-to-back years, 68 and 69. Charlie Scott, after that shot in 69, 32 points in that game in College Park, Maryland, to send Carolina to its 3rd straight Final Four. They lost to Purdue in the national semifinals. Curry to the left hand.
Pretty, huh? What? The ability to maneuver in traffic. And he can shoot so well, Jay, he's got to use the dribble more.
Creating his own, but how about the use of the left hand to finish? That was pretty.
Archibald with a giveaway. Now when you shoot the ball behind the back first and here, between defenders, pretty clever, and then back to the left away from traffic.
Well, showing a great feel for finding openings. His father, Del Curry, the great shooter, played at Virginia Tech and many years in the NBA.
I don't know if Del could put it on the deck like his son, though.
Wellington the miss, the rebound Sander. All Davidson here in the second half. Carolina's made just one field goal in the second half, 1 out of 8 since the break.
Got to pound it in, though.
Sanders stripped by Green, but got it back.
There you go. That's their play. Drive, draw, and nice look.
Meno couldn't handle it. Beautiful feed by Curry.
Oof. By the way, Charlie Scott, I saw Chuck Daly. Do you remember that name? I know you're alive.
Chuck Daly?
Yeah, the Dream Team coach.
One of your
he and
contemporary
John
references.
Lotz and Lefty Drizel went to Laurinburg Prep for every game to recruit Charlie Scott. They used to flip a coin to see who spoke to him first. And, of course, John Lotz won when he was then Dean's assistant.
Danny Green knew it was off, went racing after the rebound. Ellington got a finger on it, but couldn't corral it. Davidson by 3. 5.5 gone by second half. They haven't been ranked since those glory days. The last time Davidson was in the national rankings in the major polls was 1970. A win tonight would certainly move them into the rankings. Andy Katz had them 23 in the country in his preseason poll, and then a number of the magazines, they were in the top 25, but not in the AP or the coaches poll. Just outside the top 25. Ellington called for his first foul on the team's 4th here in the second half.
Carolina's going to get their defense be sound, don't gamble, stick to their principles, and then conversely attack inside. They've gotten away from it, settling deep.
Ty Lawson essentially taken out of the ball game. He's not on the floor right now, but not playing much in the first half because of foul trouble. It has been a very difficult game for their leader.
And Frazier on the floor had a sound first half. See if he can get them in order.
Richards with Thomas contesting it, rattled out to Hansbrough. Quentin Thomas now the point guard. Green passed up the 3 in transition and then charged.
Right idea, but not under control. Heads up play by Sanders. And you mentioned he only played 7 minutes in the first half, and that was part of their problem coming down the stretch of that half. Didn't have that inside force on both ends.
North Carolina lost a little bit of composure at the start of this second half when Hansbrough got in a little shoving match with Lovedale. And you're right, Bill. Being in control, coming to a 2-footed jump stop and making a play. Danny Green out of control, and that's why they had the turnover.
First foul on Green. 5 team fouls already on the Tar Heels. They scored only 2 points here in the second half.
Nice pass.
Meno doubled and then turned it over. He's been shaky here in recent moments. Thomas. Blocking foul called on Stephen Curry.
He wasn't squared up.
Well, he's mad that the pass wasn't caught at the other end. He went right after Meno. He wasn't mad at the officials. He didn't get the right angle. You're right.
Second foul on Curry, the 4th against the Wildcats here in the half.
Davidson
and Quentin Thomas will go to the line.
Davidson has had some opportunities, but haven't been able to finish plays. Meno dropping the ball. He had that one dunk that he wasn't able to get down.
Thomas made the first. Lovedale comes in. Meno goes out. Thomas, the only player left who played in the national championship game victory in 2005 over Illinois.
I want to see Hansbrough here with the lane moved up on free throws. That gives them a little more room to work, but they are just pinching down on him, being so physical.
They were working on that yesterday. Look at this. Nobody back.
Hollis Goslin missed the dunk as Green went up to contest. Lovedale lost it.
Well, that's 6 points on easy plays. The catches, the layups, the dunks.
And Green's 3 spun out. That had the feel of a major momentum shift.
But a crossover.
Curry all the way to the bucket.
The blow by. And a little bump to boot by Lovedale.
This sellout crowd fully engaged now. Davidson by 3 under 13 to go. Hansbrough in the middle of the lane, fouled by Sanders.
Sander keeping his hands up, but he's using that body to bump down low. And look at Curry. What a nice head and shoulder fake to just blow by Thomas.
A little lingerie on the deck. Quick and deft with the bounce.
Third foul on Sander. 5th team foul. Hansbrough with his first point of the second half. Preseason ACC Player of the Year. Hansbrough received almost every vote, 60 of the 64 in the ACC preseason media poll. Sean Singletary of Virginia got the other 4 votes. Hansbrough reached 1,000 career points in just 54 games. Fastest to do that at Carolina since the aforementioned Charlie Scott back in the late 60s. They've had some pretty good players in the interim.
Goodness, some talent. MJ, Michael Corn, one of my old favorites. There's Billy C. before him, one of the great ACC players of all time.
We'll never get through the broadcast, man. All the great players they have.
Jay, name all the retired numbers that Carolina
takes too long.
There's one of them.
Jones.
Heck, I got a few of those retired myself.
Billy Cunningham was telling me what a class act he was and is. The gentleman is talking to me about his high school coach. He said it keeps me young.
Speaking of Bobby Jones, the turnover was the 11th committed by Davidson. So Carolina with a chance for the lead. They turn it back over. Green called for a moving screen along the edge of the lane.
Boy, good idea, but you don't need to move. Just make the defender change his path. Frazier, boy, he had so much time to squeeze that one off. Really didn't need that foul.
They can't get it going. Basically, self-diffusing.
Well, Roy Williams said after the exhibition games he doesn't feel they're a great team yet. He said Davidson looks like more of a team than we are at this point in terms of playing together. It's not as if Carolina didn't lose anybody. Davidson returned almost its entire team, including all 5 starters from last year. But Carolina did lose Brandon Wright, the 8th pick of the NBA draft, Rayshon Terry, 2nd-round pick of Dallas, and Wes Miller, who's now playing in England. Thompson the miss, and the rebound down to Lovedale.
Nice entry by Ellington. Now, Frazier can't help out. He got away with one. He gave Curry an open look the last trip by looking to help his teammate.
You'd still rather have Curry drive than shoot from the perimeter.
Davidson by 1. In a rare moment where it looks like the teams are catching their breath. Nice slip by Lovedale. They've done that effectively a couple of times tonight. 8 for Lovedale. Meanwhile, Carolina's 1 out of 11 from the floor in this half. Green, a nice spin.
Great body control.
I don't know what that pass. I don't know what Carolina's big guys are worried about the hedge so much. Make sure you stay close to your man.
Archambault, his miss, tracked down by Rossiter, gets stuck in the corner and used a timeout. Davidson by 1. Bob McKillop, perhaps not a household name around the country, but his peers know what a terrific coach he is, and we've seen examples of it tonight.
Teaches his players how to play. Andrew Lovedale right here, going to go up and set a ball screen. Watch Danny Green. He jumps out, immediately slips the screen. The defender's a little bit late because they are so wide, staying with 3-point shooters. Excellent job of reading the screen and reading the slip by Andrew Lovedale, and another terrific coaching job by Bob McKillop. He called that in the first half after he saw Carolina staying with the shooters on the perimeter, and it worked beautifully.
The deployment's essential, though, right? You got to lift people, spread them out. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Nobody at home underneath.
And when you're guarding the screener in a situation like that, you've got to stay connected to your man. Once you get disconnected, that slip, and you give up a layup.
5-second call. Richards couldn't get it in. Now Carolina with a chance for the lead. On the 12th Davidson turnover. Here in downtown Charlotte, Davidson by 1. Sean McDonough with Bill Raftery and Jay Billis. Season opener for the #1 team in the country, North Carolina. Ellington, who has not scored in the second half. And finally, Bobby Frazier called for a walk.
And they've gone with the 3-guard look, the 3 perimeters. Ellington, Lawson, and Frazier. See what impact it has defensively. I think that's the biggest issue here.
Well, North Carolina's been wholly out of sync since that technical foul on Tyler Hansbrough, where they lost their composure just for a moment in the second half. Carolina 2 of 12 from the perimeter, or from the field.
Ellington at 24 of their 38 first half points. They have just 2 free throws from Hansbrough in this half. Meno threw up a jump hook. Well, he's had a rough second half in some key spots for Davidson. Ellington, strong slash, and then he missed. So again, Carolina can't take the lead. We're midway through the half. Archambault for three.
Well, they've been waiting for him to light it up. He struggled in the first couple of games, or first game, I should say.
Archambault made 58 threes for them last year. Only Curry had more for Davidson.
And Davidson really packing it in right now.
I think Sander was holding on to Hansbrough.
Yep. And that's going to be 4 on Sander. He's been physical with Hansbrough all night, and Roy Williams knew the interior players who were guarding Hansbrough would be physical. I would imagine that's the only way. You can guard that man. You have to.
You got to make body contact with him.
Be physical with him.
Wipe you out.
How about Hansbrough's performance against Michigan State in the NCAA tournament? Recovering from the fractured nose, playing with a mask, ripped the mask off in the first half and went on to score 33 points. Green the miss.
That kid's got a ticker, you know that.
Richards with Davidson, a chance to widen its lead. They led by 7 in the first half, trailed by 7 at the half. But they have controlled the play here in the second half as North Carolina has only 8 points since the break. Curry missed a deep 3 and Fraser the rebound.
Boy, Fraser got lucky there. He went underneath and Curry pulled the trigger.
Can't do that on that kid.
Green, Jackson, another 3.
Some tough matches right now, I think. Davidson a little big in spots.
Danny Green, a smart basketball player. You know, you pointed out, Bill, at practice today, he's vocal. He knows where everybody is supposed to be on the floor.
Calls out spots that they're supposed to be. It's amazing.
I think North Carolina fans keep waiting for more consistently from Green. 3rd year now, not sharing time with Rayshon Terry. He should have the opportunity to blossom here as a junior. Archambault.
Tough shot. Can't be forcing.
Green the rebound. Again, a chance for the lead for North Carolina as we near 8.5 minutes remaining.
Need to get the ball inside here.
Ross did a good job, though.
He's guarding Hansbrough with Sander on the bench with 4. Green the offensive rebound, and he was fouled.
The right spot. A good check out.
And Green showing his versatility. His ability to go to the glass, going after it with both hands, and then finishing the play with the contact by Rossiter.
Second personal on Rossiter, and the 7th team foul will be the bonus the rest of the way, each way. And now Green out of St. Mary's High School, Manhasset, Long Island. Brother was shot at Manhattan College.
One thing Danny Green's really done over the course of his 3 years, he's improved his level of concentration. I was at his first practice at Carolina. I didn't think he'd make it through the practice.
Davidson fans trying to get their team fired up as the lead is gone. And it's Hansbrough called for a bump on Rossiter.
I don't know why Hansbrough would want to fight Rossiter too much down there. He's not a scorer. You got to pick your battles.
Curry really is active without the basketball. He punishes you. Rossiter now gets a chance, huh? 1-on-1.
1-on-1, 3 fouls on Hansbrough. Of course, the first 2 were on the same play when he got the personal and the technical. Rossiter just 56% from the line last year. Out of Staten Island, New York, Monsignor Farrell High School. His dad, Steve, was a fine player at Loyola of Maryland in the early 80s. He has a brother, Ryan, who's a freshman at Siena. Coach McKillop says he's a crafty New York City kid. And Bob McKillop, you can still hear the Queens, New York, in his accent when he speaks.
One thing Bob McKillop does in these games, he breaks the game down into 10 4-minute rounds, he calls them, and we are about to get into rounds 9 and 10, and that's where the champions show up.
Wow, this is
NBA continuation there. Lawson looked like he got bumped at about the elbow. Another look at beautiful Davidson College, north of Charlotte. Most of the student body here tonight, known for its academics. 23 Rhodes Scholars have come out of Davidson College. They have an honor code. Students work with professors to schedule their exams at a time that's convenient. They tell us because of that honor code, students at the library, if they want to go leave and eat, can leave their computers and books, go to eat, come back and know that everything is still going to be there.
We never had that freedom in my day.
No.
Obviously, I didn't have their brains either.
There's Ty Lawson at the line to shoot the free throw. It appeared to be a gift if they counted the field goal. And Carolina's 12 out of 16 from the line now. Within 5 ties and 8 lead changes in this game. North Carolina started this half 2 for 14 from the floor. They've made 3 of their last 4 to take a 3-point lead under 8 minutes to go.
4 perimeter players and Tyler.
Richards to Curry, turns into a 3 that was short. Sander back in with 4 fouls. Able to track down the offensive rebound.
Smart play too.
Jason Richards, guarded by Ty Lawson. Stephen Curry with Marcus Ginyard defending. Another nice slip to the bucket by Andrew Lovedale.
Well, they're so smart how they approach it. Empty backside screen and take it to the 10.
They just make great reads. You get above that outside shoulder, they're gone.
Lovedale's 5 out of 5 from the floor for 10 points. He averaged 5 per game last year as a sophomore. Green, a 3 from the corner.
Oh.
Ginyard, the one-handed snatch. And he was fouled on the putback.
Wow. Did he propel himself in the air? You know, they never got back in position after the double either, though, to get a good check out.
Well, that's why handling that double is so important, because then you can beat the rotation.
So now Marcus Ginyard at the line, the junior from Alexandria, Virginia. Spent the offseason delivering sandwiches in the Chapel Hill area. So we want to learn more about personal responsibility. Probably got some nice tips from the Tar Heel fans as well.
Oh, I'm sure. Part of the deal. It's interesting with this small lineup, though. They went to the 3-guard look, and now they got added a 4th with Ginyard, who can play Curry, obviously.
Lovedale's gone out with 4 fouls. His replacement, Boris Meno, the rebound. Meno's from France, came over to this country in 2002 to Philadelphia as a high school student with an eye toward playing college basketball in this country. Lawson, tight defense on Richards. Curry for 3.
And that's just great use of the dribble by Richards.
20 points for Curry. Then Lawson wide open, missed a shorty and a foul on the rebounding action on North Carolina. They're pointing at Hansbrough. That would be his 4th, and it is.
Keep yourself active, get the puppy set. You got a point guard with Jason Richards' ability, and you can smile your way on the open look.
But it's just another great read by Steph Curry. The nice little fade, and you can see there's the push by Tyler Hansbrough. So hard when you know that ball is coming off on the far side to keep your hands up.
And mark this down, he's to the bench with 6:26 to go. Davidson leading 57-56. 8th team foul on the Tar Heels. Bob McKillop has his best player and best free throw shooter at the line. You could hear the appreciation that he has for Stephen Curry, not just the playing ability, but he referred to him as a young man of great character, said the parents deserve a lot of credit for that. If you know Dell and Sonia Curry, you can understand why the children are the way they are. A lot of times Dell won't sit with his wife during the games because she's so animated and emotional.
They play this well, it's a lot easier.
Davidson, a perfect 9 out of 9 from the line. Wildcats by 3, trying to upset the #1 team in the country in downtown Charlotte. 6:15 to go. Ellington almost turned it over. Lawson able to run it down. 15 to shoot. Ellington for 3 with Paulus Gosselin right in his face. 15 for Ellington.
How smooth of a shooter is Wayne Ellington?
You got to get
deep,
up on him.
Deep, mid-range, he's got it all.
And he can put it on the deck. That's what really sets up the outside game for him.
Tied at 59.
They are really reacting to the overplay and going back door.
Curry raked across the arm, and they're going to say he was on his way up to the bucket. He'll shoot 2.
Big Green with the giveaway, but right here you got the hand up. You can't. Defense was perfect.
Curry putting the ball on the floor and getting in between the defenders.
Curry back to the line after the 3rd personal on Green, the 9th team foul. Curry playing with the wrapped left wrist. The school does not release injury information, but it doesn't seem to have affected him. He scored 27 with that left wrist wrapped in their opener against Emory. Sander out, Lovedale back in. They each have 4 fouls. Ginyard goes out for Fraser for North Carolina. .23 for Curry. This is his 36th career game. He scored 20 or more in 21 of those 36. Hansbrough still on the bench. Curry 6 out of 6 from the line. Davidson back up by 2. Ellington couldn't drive on Curry because Curry fouled him. No basket for Green. Both teams over the limit. Foul on Curry, his 3rd.
And with as much talk as there's been about Derrick Rose, Chris Douglas Roberts is pretty darn good too. He's been their best player.
Dozier's not bad. This is difficult for Davidson, Jay. The 4 perimeter guys from Carolina can all beat you with the dribble. They've got to come out and play them because they can make that medium-range jump shot.
And Steph Curry right now getting a little rest for the stretch run. He can take the next minute and a half and then the timeout if Bob McKillop so chooses.
2 timeouts left for Davidson. Davidson's timeouts reflecting those hash marks above the team name. Archambault missed a shorty. Now North Carolina with a chance to reclaim the lead. Ellington strong to the bucket, missed with the left hand.
Well, Davidson has missed 4 layups in this game. 2 of them were missed dunks, and they had 2 other missed layups.
5 minutes to go. We're tied, and this is not a big surprise to those who follow college basketball closely. Davidson, a 29-win team a year ago with every starter back. And Bob McKillop will use one of those 2 remaining timeouts.
Well, Richards keeps that dribble alive. He was harassed.
How about the job Lawson was doing on him? Lawson might be able to draw a charge on Richards because he's trying to lean into him to get him off him. But that was a great job defensively by Ty Lawson. Ty Lawson, you can see moving his feet, and Richards so strong trying to lean in to see if he can get Lawson off of him, but forces him to pick up his dribble so far away from the basket. That's why Bob McKillop called the timeout. Couldn't get the ball into an operating area.
But also, you got to have guys get free for you when you're the point guard, too. You're right there stuck. You got to step, cut, prepare yourself, make yourself available. Richards looks a little tired, Jay, doesn't he? Look at him.
I don't blame him. I'm tired watching him.
Well, they haven't beaten a ranked team under Bob McKillop. They've certainly put a scare into Maryland last year in the first round of the tournament. Ohio State the year before that. I mentioned they haven't been ranked since 1970. A win tonight would certainly vault Davidson into the top 25.
Nice slip, and look at the help by Frazier.
Another missed layup.
This one from Archambault.
You've got to use the glass.
He's on the sideline.
Yes, he was. Lawson was out of bounds.
It's like an early season game now. And both teams, the misses you alluded to with Davidson out of sync a little bit, not meshing for Carolina.
There's a tournament feel in the building.
Oh, yeah.
The intensity.
Big time.
But it's going to come down this stretch, last 4 minutes, to whoever's tougher. And whoever's tougher mentally.
Archambault just 2 out of 9 from the floor in the game. Richards has not scored in this half for Davidson. They pull it out with 10 to shoot.
Oops.
Lovedale's pass out of bounds. Last touch by Lovedale. And Davidson turns it over with 4:03 to go, tied at 61.
I don't think you want him with the ball out top like that.
No, but whenever Jason Richards gives the ball up, he's having a heck of a time getting it back. Carolina wants to make these other Davidson Wildcats, other than Richards, handle the ball.
And without Curry in there, it becomes more important.
Hansbrough still on the bench. He's been out for 2.5 minutes. They trailed by 1 when he went to the bench.
Slice cut, screen for the screener, and now, nice play by Ellington.
Here we're tied at 61, 3:41 to go. And if Davidson can't pull off the upset, they'll think back on a lot of easy missed shots here in the second half.
Boy, just finishing plays, making the easy play. And a couple times here, Will Archambault, if he uses the glass, those are going to go down. I mean, that's 8 points that Bob McKillop should have in his pocket.
And Carolina have been very effective with the smaller lineup.
And interestingly, Hansbrough out of the timeout, still not on the court for North Carolina. He went out with his 4th foul with 6:26 to go. Ellington gets the first to roll in. He's 3 out of 3 from the line tonight. Stephen Curry comes back in.
He didn't like
came out with 5.5 to go.
Did you see the smile? He was teasing Ellington how that one went in.
Ellington short with the second, and a foul on Danny Green.
But not a good foul by Danny Green to foul 94 feet from the basket.
Now 53% shooter last year.
4 fouls on Danny Green, double bonus each way. North Carolina has won 72 of its last 77 season openers. The last time they lost a season opening game was against Santa Clara. Of course, that was on their way out to Maui. They won the Maui Invitational, went on and won the national championship.
And that's a pattern for Roy Williams as well. When he, in his career, has lost his opening game, whether at Kansas or North Carolina, that team has gone to the Final Four.
So they should tank it then.
Wasn't it Raymond Felton did not play in that game against Santa Clara?
That's right. He did not play against Santa Clara.
Thomas played as a freshman.
Lovedale from Nigeria missed both. Ginyard rips down the rebound. Carolina with the ball, a 1-point lead, nearing 3.5 minutes to go. Lawson went right around Paulus Gosselin in the tough bucket.
A nice clear out for him, too, with the middle line.
Explosive, not only to the basket, but off the floor.
5 for Lawson, who does not have an assist tonight. He's had at least 1 assist in every game of his career. He's a sophomore. Curry missed everything with his first shot since coming back in after a couple of minutes on the bench.
A pretty good defense, though. Ginyard had that hand way up, made it a tough delivery.
And he had the hand right in his face, which is what a lot of good defenders do. You don't want to block a jump shot. You want to get pressure on it. And sometimes a hand in the face is every bit as good as a block.
Curry's 2 out of 10 from three-point land tonight. 3 minutes to go. Number 1 North Carolina in its season opener, up by 3. Lawson, last touched by Green.
Guys like trying to guard him, just an impossible task.
And Roy Williams said Lawson is as quick, if not quicker, than anybody he's ever coached. Can you think of some of the lightning quick guards he has coached? Roy said Lawson has a gear that very few others have.
Well, the 2 fastest that Roy's coached are Raymond Felton and then Jock Vaughn that he had at Kansas.
Tough shot by Richards.
A little kiss by the point guard.
His first bucket of the second half. 1-point lead, Carolina, 2:35 to go. Hansbrough drew the crowd, and that set up Ginyard underneath.
A nice adjustment. Sean, it's interesting, Davidson, when the 2 guards are together, they're more efficient.
Boy, that double had to come from a long distance. Hansbrough saw it, dribbled out of it, and made a great pass. A lot of poise by the big guy.
Curry with 20 to shoot. Drives on Ginyard into the traffic. Green swatted it. 2 Wildcats there, and they lost it over the end line. Rossiter and Curry couldn't corral it.
2 big defensive trips. Carolina stepped up. Much more aggressive. Bumped the post guy to the corner. And here's your double, Jay.
The double came from a long way off. It was Paulus Gosselin, and a nice job, a great cut by Marcus Ginyard, and a terrific pass by Tyler Hansbrough. The poise he showed to dribble away and then keep that ball high and make that pass. Very impressive. He's gotten better and better at handling that double team throughout the game.
Felton to Hansbrough, Ginyard, Ellington, and Green for North Carolina.
There's their slice
cut screen for the screener. Oh, what a bad screen.
Ellington and Green both involved in contact. And they're going to give it to Green. He's fouled out.
Danny Green just leaning into it, and to his credit, Jason Richards selling it.
So Green will be the first to succumb to fouls here. There are a number of others with 4. Richards with his team down by 3. 1:42 to go. Curry with Ginyard, their best defender on him. 17 to shoot. Richards bumped by the chest of Lawson. Turns the corner with Lawson right on him, and the putback goes for Boris Meno, or rather Lovedale.
Well, he just used his body with the belly bump.
It has been a battle throughout. The largest lead for each team, 7. Ellington, the step back.
You said smooth.
1 minute to go. Davidson down by 3.
Don't need it all back at once here.
They have only 1 timeout remaining. 20 seconds to shoot. And they get it to Richards, one of the best point guards in the country.
Nice play.
Lovedale on the cut. Air ball. Ellington saves it.
I think you got a foul right now.
Yeah, I do too. They're going there. They do it. Finally. Bobber's up.
Richards fouls his 4th. He, Curry, and Lovedale all with 4 now.
But Davidson went back to the slip, but that was a tough angle for Lovedale to make that play.
Well, the last 3 trips, here's just a terrific basketball player. Great body control. But the last 3 defensive trips by Carolina have been sensational. Got down, effective, took away the cuts. You mentioned the slip, support in the back, making every shot difficult.
Boy, how about that step back dribble and the guts it takes to take that kind of shot with the game on the line.
Time now for our Sony PlayStation 3 game track. Carolina led by 7 at the half after they trailed by 7 in the first half. But Davidson dominated the early going in the second half, largely because Ellington and Hansbrough were ineffective. Ellington has picked it up. Hansbrough has still been quiet since picking up a technical. It's a 3-point lead. We had Danny Green with 5 fouls on the stat sheet, but apparently the last one was just his 4th because he is still in the game. There have been some questions tonight, what they've had on the computer screen here, and what the actual number of fouls is. Everybody in early season form.
Davidson now, I would think 2, Jay. He, makes them push it up, get the quick 2, extend the game, prolong it.
Yeah, I think you take it to the basket, and if it opens up to kick it out for an open 3 where you're stepping into it, take it.
Lawson makes first of 2. That's a big one. 2-possession game now unless they foul a 3-point shooter with 30 seconds to go.
Carolina should stay up and make them take some time.
Curry. Oh, unlucky. The 3 rattled out. Sander kept it alive. Curry steps into Ginyard. Last touch by Ellington, but we're down to 14.5 seconds to go. Time running out on Curry and the Wildcats down by 5.
Curry trying to jump into the defender. Smart play, but
Sure was.
difficult to make that shot.
And he's a tough kid. I mean, to get free on the top, he set his man up, got the screen. They got the look they wanted. And talk about Roy Williams Hall of Fame. McKillop had a Hall of Fame game, I think. Preparation, kids' involvement. Not that it's over yet, but Roy knew they would be tested.
Well, this is a great game for North Carolina to play because the Tar Heels are playing a veteran ball club that are proven winners. I mean, this is a team that has won 20 games or more for 3 straight years. I mean, this is a great way for a good team to start the season.
He's got great eyes, doesn't he? The intensity.
It's like Mike Singletary, you know, across the line, the eyes that he used to show out of that Chicago Bears helmet.
Or Sean shows us when he thinks we're overstepping our limited bounds.
Or for you, for your reference, Bronco Nagurski.
Oh, sure, I remember Bronco.
I've been staring at both of you all night tonight. I'm back in the broadcast equivalent of the Witness Protection Program for another season. Davidson to play it in after the North Carolina timeout. Nice. Another example of excellent execution out of a timeout. The coach getting what he was looking for. Sander set up by Richards. Of course, they're going to strictly enforce now the coach's box this year. Coaches will be made to stay in, or they will be dealt with swiftly and harshly. Roy Williams, when we visited with him today, he said it's like bringing a bazooka to kill a fly. He didn't think it was a major problem. Do they have coaches' boxes or presidents' boxes for university presidents? Because Tom Ross, the president of Davidson College, has sat next to us all night, and he's been all over these officials.
He violated the rule, huh?
He'd be out of the president's box if they had some tape on the floor for him.
Well, he has gotten quite a workout. The aerobic workout that the president of Davidson College has gotten in this ballgame has been Denise Austin quality.
He's had a lot to root for, though.
Yeah, he's very proud of this program. He's a Davidson College graduate, as is their athletic director, Jim Murphy. You know, and Bob McKillop's name has come up a bunch over the years for other jobs, but he loves Davidson College. He's 57 years old. He said, I would never say categorically no to anything, but I'm at a time in my life it would have to be something very special for me to leave. He said, I feel like I have Camelot where I am.
You know what he'll do in his future, though? I don't know how many years off it is. Whenever he decides to leave Davidson, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go over and coach in Europe. He is a very well-respected coach in Europe. Does a lot of clinics.
Yeah.
I mean, he could coach a professional team over there. I could see him doing that in a heartbeat.
Need an assistant? Maybe Bill could
You're trying to get rid of me.
go with him.
The quickie now.
They're trying to foul. It's just so hard to catch up to Lawson, and they do with 11 seconds to go.
He shot 68%. Not bad for your point guard. He's going to get touched late. Ellington 83 last year, Jay. And crunch time, Joe Holiday with the sporty look early here. Inside. Roy?
Isn't that one of the first rules of being a great assistant coach is never outdress your boss?
Jerry's such a wonderful guy. You were telling me when I was talking to him about Steve Hale.
Yeah, he was Steve Hale's high school coach in Jenks, Oklahoma.
Lawson a miss. And now this is huge. Trying to make it a 4-point game.
Sean, this is a time where you might run a cross screen if you're Carolina or dip behind on the free throw, you know?
Davidson will likely need a 3.
Get it to the rim first.
Yep, they're only 4 out of 22 from 3 tonight. Richards trying to get to the rim, had it swatted, and Carolina is going to survive what Roy Williams was well aware going in is going to be a major tussle with Davidson College. This was not a cupcake opener. He knew it.
Well, I'll tell you, there were a lot of interested observers in this ball game. None more interested than Ben Howland and Sidney Lowe and the like, who are going to be Mike Krzyzewski playing this Davidson team coming up. And they are going to get a fist fight when they do.
No day on the beach. Extraordinary preparation. Guys expend every bit of energy.
And almost certainly this Davidson team's going to be back in the NCAA tournament for the 3rd year in a row. They were the unanimous choice to win the Southern Conference. UNC Greensboro expected to win the North Division in the preseason poll. And Appalachian State lost 3 starters off their 25-win team of last year, but many believe they're still strong.
Well, UNC Greensboro has already beaten Georgia Tech. Kyle Hines, their top scorer, had a great game against the Yellow Jackets. And
6'6", 230, right?
He's a man. And Bobby Cremins at the College of Charleston has another good team. And Steph Curry just had a terrific ball game.
Relentless pressure on him, too.
Just a sophomore. What a great player.
The preparation of Carolina defensively, and yet he was able to get decent looks because he sets his guy up and they look for him.
You're not gonna find a better defender than Marcus Ginyard. And
not a good one.
oh, not at all.
No, Green, we had him fouled out earlier. I think now he actually has.
There's no consequence to it. There's no 5-point play.
No.
0.2 seconds, but still, that's not the way that North Carolina wants to end the ball game.
Curry will watch the final second tick off. Meanwhile, North Carolina, they'll be tested in their non-conference slate as well.
And look at all the road games. I mean, they play Iona and Old Dominion at home, but after that, because of some scheduling issues they've had, they are on the road. I mean, they're in Las Vegas. They go on the road in the Big Ten ACC Challenge at Ohio State. They're at Kentucky.
Penn, they got Penn right at the press.
Yeah, they wanted to take Wayne Ellington home, so that was the one time they could get that game. So they're going to be in these blue uniforms for the next month and a half.
Sandry made 1 out of 2 to account for the final margin.
Loved it. Great effort.
Final score, North Carolina 72, Davidson 68. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.